Xcreat Park is a nature park, water park, zoo, and a variety of other entertainment wrapped into one. Swim in an underground river, observe an immense variety of species in the aviary, the butterfly house, and the coral reef aquarium to marvel at the country's iconic biodiversity. Xcreat is definitely worth going to if you're in the Yucatan, thanks to its more than 50 natural and cultural attractions for the whole family. Kiefer and I started on the underground river. This took us to the far end of the park, and we were able to wander our way back to get lunch, change, and then explore the Mayan ruins, the aviary, the butterfly garden, before going into the nighttime performance. When you get out of the underground river, you'll be at the far end of the park by the beach and the marine animal exhibits. We opted for a quick snack while we watched some excited dolphins. There was an add-on where you could swim with dolphins, sharks, or manta rays. You can easily spend 6 to 10 hours exploring the park. Plan on longer if you have small children. We made our way down the red line to the manatee exhibit. All of the manatees were rescued and nursed back to health. It was really cute to watch these gentle giants munch on some greens. As we kept walking through the park, we wandered past the beach. There was a fun little ropes course if you're feeling adventurous. Our mission was to find the snorkeling zone, so we just kept walking. The inlet you see now is shallow and perfect for snorkeling. They provide you with a fancy mask and off you go. Be careful of the rocks and only enter via the staircase. There were a variety of fish schools that were present. The water was a bit murkier than I hoped, but overall was really fun. After the inlet was fully explored, we kept moving to see the rest of the water exhibits, the sea turtles in the aquarium. There are only 7 species of sea turtles in the world, all nesting on Mexico's coast, and 4 of them in Quintana Roo. That's why Xcreat Park protects them with the Sea Turtle Conservation Program. With this program, turtles are taken care of until they're big enough to be safe from their natural enemies, so that they can be delivered back to the sea. You'll see both small and medium-sized turtles in a special area. The Xcreat Aquarium is unique in the world since its coral reef ecosystems have been developed there. It's possible thanks to the modern technology of pumping seawater, which leads plankton, sponge larvae, corals, and mollusks into the pond, giving rise to the colonization process. Within the plethora of fish, we got to see eels and jellyfish before making our way back to get changed and then have lunch. We opted in for the buffet-style food at the Jalisco-centered restaurant. There were multiple other kitchens where you could have eaten from different regions within Mexico. Once we were full and content, we headed over to the archaeological sites. Xcreat, originally called Pole, has more than 1,000 years of history. A native community dedicated to maritime trade was settled in this area. Likewise, it was an important port for a ceremonial center. Every year, dozens of canoers departed from here bound for Cozumel to worship the goddess Ixchel. Within this pre-Hispanic village, you'll walk through the jungle and enter a traditional Yucatan Peninsula village. This is a journey into the past where you can be part of the daily life of a pre-Columbian community, learn about their way of life, social organization, how they built their homes, and what they ate. You can also watch artisans from the region and their creative processes, and take home a piece of their beautiful crafted artwork. After the sun goes down, the pre-Hispanic village is filled with the aroma of copal and the sound of ancestral drums, which indicate the beginning of the pre-Hispanic dances. We then made our way to the Bridge to Paradise Mexican Cemetery. In the distance, you'll be struck by the shape and colors of the cemetery, featuring pre-Columbian elements of the mixture of Mexican folk art and ancestral times to present day. As we kept making our way through the park, we stopped by an old Pacatak arena. Pacatak is like a cross between soccer and basketball. Each opposing side is trying to hit a ball in a stone hoop at the end of the playing field. We made our way back through the tunnels to the aviary. When we entered the sanctuary, we were surrounded by colorful plumage and beautiful songs. The aviary is a result of many years of research. Natural habitats were created to allow the development of more than 1,500 Mexican birds, some of them in danger of extinction. The Scarlet Macaw program at Xcreat is the most successful reproduction program. It obtained the Guinness World Record twice for achieving the most macaws born in captivity, which has been able to help with the repopulation in jungles in southeast Mexico. Everyone who visits contributes to help continuing to create conservation and reproduction programs for species in danger of extinction. Here you can also visit one of the largest butterfly pavilions in the world. With a free flight area, over 20 regional species are exhibited and reproduced here. Walk through an area in the jungle where you can find butterflies that prefer the shade and others that prefer the light. The latter species was highly valued in ancient Yucatan Peninsula culture, who considered them the souls of warriors fallen in battle. We then headed over to the horse expedition, where you could witness a Mexican rodeo known as a charreria, and impressive lasso skills. It was finally time for us to make our way over to the Xcreat Mexico a Spectacular show, featuring more than 300 artists on stage. The artist's presentation will take you through more than 500 years of history. As you approach the culture of Mexican's country from pre-Columbian era, the conquest of Mexican times, the colonial era, and the first years of Mexico as an independent country, the Revolution years as the beginning of the 20th century, until reaching today, Mexico is a fascinating blend of traditions of culture that have endured the past of centuries. What you're witnessing now is the ritual ceremony of Papantla flyers. It begins with a flute and drum song to honor the sun and four elements. Then, 4 dancers are tied to long ropes and fly around a pole in a spiritual descent while imitating the flight of birds until they reach the ground. Thank you so much for joining, and make sure to follow and subscribe for more places to visit and activities to do on your travels.